Hello, today we're going to talk about breaking down a 1911 style pistol. So most 1911s are pretty easy, some require tools. This is just a commander model, which just like the government model doesn't require anything special. You can get bushing wrenches for these that make it a lot easier, but it's easy to do at home with your hands if you know what you're doing. So make sure it's clear as always and keep your ammunition stored separate. To start, you're going to want to depress this in and you're going to want to rotate your bushing over. So let me get a grip on that quick. Push that down and rotate this over. Sometimes these you have to get just the right spot for the clearance. Hello, today we're going to talk about breaking down a 1911 style pistol. So make sure it's clear and make sure ammunition is stored separately. So for a basic field strip, what we're going to go ahead and do is you're going to want to put pressure down here, and you also have to rotate your bushing over while you're doing that. So if you have big thumbs like me, it's a little hard to do. They do make wrenches for this, but you can do it with your hands and you don't need to spend the money on a wrench. So once you get pressure down here and rotate that a little bit, you can go ahead and you want to make sure you keep pressure where you were pushing down with your thumb, because that recoil spring is going to cause that to go flying if you don't. So once you get your recoil springs out, you're going to want to take the bushing and rotate it the other way to get that out. And you have to find just the right spot so you can pull that out. You're going to come ahead and flip it over here. You're going to line this up. So there's just this little notch right here where your slide lock is. You're going to want to line that up there. So the top of the slide lock is lined up with a smaller notch. And you're going to want to push from the back side and pop that out. Once you do that, you can go ahead and remove your slide. And then you'll have your guide rod and your barrel should come out. You have successfully field stripped your 1911 pistol. To put it back, it's the same way, just in reverse. You're going to go ahead and put your barrel in like such. You're going to want to take your guide rod and sit that down in there. I always like to hold it upside down when I do it. That way the guide rod stays in place. Slide your frame up on your slide. Once you do that, you're going to line your barrel up, and the length for your barrel will line up with that hole where you pulled your slide release out of. And you want to make sure that length stays in place there. You can tell if you have it on the length by if you can move your barrel or not. So depending how much wiggle room you have, you'll know you'll caught it. So once you get that into place, you want to make sure you line up that notch where you had that lined up earlier. And that should pop back into place then once you get it there. I always like to throw the safety on for this next part, just so it keeps the slide in place. I'm going to take my bushing, put it back in, rotate it all the way over, drop this down in, and make sure you get it over the guide rod. And once again, you're going to want to make sure you keep steady pressure on till you can get that bushing rotated over. And then you're going to depress it again with your finger until you get it locked into place. Take your safety off and you're good to go.